All right. Thank you, Cody and Klaus, for coming to see me today. I am going to be used as a third party, so I'm basically not here. I'm just here to hear both sides of the argument, and we are trying just to get to a deal between both of you guys so that this never happens again. But I am concerned that you guys have a disagreement between you two that is not allowing you guys to put in your work, full focus into your work. I've noticed that Cody has been kind of hot-headed lately towards Klaus. So we're here to get a situation surrounding with your work. But we're trying to understand it and get a good perspective of it. From your perspective, Cody, can you describe your situation?
Yes. So our definitely tensions are high between Klaus and I. I absolutely feel singled out, unfairly treated, especially as in charge of the psychiatric nursing and that department and all the nurses. And I really have worked hard to go ahead and ensure that communication is key, especially like in our field of medicine and how we're constantly dealing with emergencies. And I feel like Klaus is kind of disrupting all the hard work I put into my department, to be honest. I feel like Klaus is not communicating with me, and he's kind of setting me up for failure in a sense because of this very important meeting where this federal inspection revolves around the psychiatric nursing department specifically. And I feel like it was super important for Klaus to go ahead and make sure that I was caught up and included in this inspection process, because in past times, I feel like in past times, Klaus hasn't communicated with me either. And so I think it's super important that we go ahead and speak about these meetings and how these meetings are decided upon, and if someone were to miss, what we go ahead and go about that in those scenarios. But overall, I definitely feel kind of just like trapped in a sense, where I have to go ahead and respect someone or try and respect someone that obviously doesn't respect me and doesn't communicate with me. So yes, I could definitely say that I'm upset in regards to the process thus far and how I'm being treated.
Perfect. Now that I have some understanding from your perspective, I would like to talk to you about with Klaus. How's your perspective on this situation?
So Cody missed a meeting, and with that meeting, there was important stuff that we went over about the federal inspection that was taking place on the day that he was gone. He never knew about the meeting, but I did leave him a voicemail. He could have reached out to coworkers or to people to see what he missed, but he still didn't, and he never got back to me. We still did pass, but he totally could have, asked a coworker what he missed at this meeting before the federal inspection came.
Yeah, of course. And I understand that you felt this way. Can you maybe describe a way that Cody could have maybe been there for the meeting in a sense, or maybe checked in with you afterwards? Like, what could he have done to make the situation a little bit better?
Cody could have came to me and asked me, what he missed at this meeting. We could have went over the important stuff. I know sometimes, there is federal inspections and that we all need to be there to make sure that we pass. In the future, it's very important that he does know what was taking place at these meetings, so we need to come up with a way that we can make sure that he gets that information that he missed.
Yes. So if you're saying that it's super important for me to know what was going on in this meeting, then I feel like it should have because we work in the same department, like in the same building, you know. You could have saw, like, I communicated with you that I was dealing with a medical emergency, so I couldn't go into the meeting. And I think that that should definitely be respected, especially like in a hospital. Like, I'm not going to put a meeting over dealing with a patient or anything. So I feel like it's definitely, if it's so important, because I had no idea. That was the first that was brought up. And that was one of the first. I had missed a couple meetings before, but if it was important, I feel like someone would have came and talked to me about it, especially you as like the supervisor who goes ahead and creates his meetings for us to go ahead and possibly go ahead and maybe create like a doodle of some sort, or so you can go ahead and get more, so it's like on our calendar, it is in our schedule. I mean, yes, like medical emergencies can still arise and can still happen, but I definitely think that if we have, and I understand the federal inspector was coming in like 2 weeks, I believe, or something, after the meeting, but I still think that you want, if it's a super important meeting, then maybe even like star it, make it like super important. I know you can do that in emails, so that I definitely know, like, hey, you need to catch up with someone afterwards, but that wasn't even communicated with me, that I need to go ahead and catch up, because obviously, like, we're all so busy, like, with our schedules. Like, I respect that about you, Klaus. I respect that you do your job and I do my job. But in regards to a federal inspector, in regards to my department, I think that I should be like added in an email specifically, because I didn't even know the federal inspector was coming. So I feel like an email or a text message or a voicemail or whatever would have went ahead enough to go ahead and for me to go ahead and know about the situation and everything. So I think there are a lot of like avenues that we can go ahead and go about this and stuff. I definitely think that this is a fixable situation, where, like I said, in my department, I'm all about communication. So if you're all about communication, then I think that something can go ahead and come about this. So I would go ahead and suggest that you go ahead and create a doodle. It takes like 5 minutes to create a doodle with dates and possible times, where we can all meet. And you could even say like the purpose of the meeting, so that we come prepared, to this meeting, and we make sure that we put it on our calendar. You can create a Google Calendar, and then it goes on all of our schedules in the department, to make sure that you get the highest attendance possible, basically.
I think that is something I could totally do in the future. Make a Google Calendar and go about letting you guys know exactly what we'll be talking about at the meeting, and how you guys are prepared. And if you do have a day off, you guys are able to, get the notes from me or from a coworker, and you guys are able to know when these federal inspections are coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the thing is, I don't want to add more to your plate too. I think that's something that's super important, for me and you to go ahead and discuss this. Like, I think we need to be open and honest with each other about how busy we are and how these tensions, I don't want it to affect anyone else. And so I don't want it to be all on you to be like, oh, let me take notes, or let me keep an agenda for these meetings. I think that's super important, if we can go ahead and start that as well. Having a drive, for all of us. I mean, we all carry iPads around anyways, like in the hospital. So having access to a drive where, if I'm able to like read or something onto my next patient, where I'm able to read like what happened in the meetings, then I think that would be something that's useful as well. But it doesn't have to all be on you. I don't know if you're willing to go ahead and maybe hire, I don't know if we have secretaries or someone from HR to go ahead and take notes in the meetings. Like I said, I don't want the ball to be like on your court fully. I want you to know that I'm willing to help. I just want to feel important and included, especially in regards to the psychiatric department.
Yes, that's definitely something I can look into, hiring 1 or 2 more people. I can definitely talk to HR, see if we have the money to hire on some other people, maybe even some part-time people to give us a little bit of less workload. something we definitely can look into for future meetings.
I think that would be something useful for both of us, you know? So if someone important is coming, then I'm aware of it. And it doesn't even have to happen to me. It's when other departments that we have in the hospital, if a speaker is coming in that we know is super beneficial to one department, then we'll let them know. I think it'll be a chain reaction for the rest of the departments as well. I think that would be super helpful.
Perfect. So Cody, you're saying that you want basically more tools for those meetings for you to be able to get access to at all times to make sure that you have the tools that you need to do your job and that you don't miss any of these important tools in the meeting. So you want them all on either like a Google Drive or just like more emails or just more of everything, basically.
Yeah, so there's no excuse at all.
Yeah.
I'm not going to miss a meeting or that the federal inspector is coming again.
And Klaus, you agreed to maybe hire on some more people to help out the nurses and help get a little load off their shoulders, which would be really helpful for them as well. And maybe they can help set up a email system or a calendar system that will help prevent this in the future as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we have come to terms with our deal, ladies or gentlemen.
Yes, I agree. I think that'll definitely help tensions, and it'll help with our needs for the department or the hospital.
Well, thank you you two so much for coming in today and talking with me.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.